Step 1. Position the enlarger. Close the slot where the negative carrier is inserted in the enlarger head so that light will shine only on the dashboard, a baseboard, and is not coming out of the enlarger baseboard. Raise the enlarger head until the light covers the entire printing. Step 2. Set the lens aperture and the enlarger timer. Set the enlarger lens aperture to f11 and the timer to 3 seconds, and strip using 3 seconds intervals. Step 3. Identify the emulsion sides of the negative and paper. The emulsion side of the negative must face the emulsion side of the paper. Films tend to curl towards its emulsion side, which is duller the back side. The emulsion side of the paper is shinier, and with glossy papers, smoother than the back side. Step 4. Insert the negative and one sheet of the paper in the printing frame pala. The paper goes on the bottom, emulsion side up, the negative go above the paper. Emulsion side down, the glass top of the frame sandwiches the negative and paper together tightly. If you don't have a printing frame, you can simply put the paper on the enlarger baseboard, the negative on the top of it, and a plain sheet of glass overall. And step 5. Expose the print. With the printing frame in the place under the enlarger head. Push the timer button to turn the enlarger light on and expose the print. Process the paper. After fixing, evaluate the print. Step 6. Evaluate the print. Some of the frame will be lighter, others darker, depending on the exposure it's received in the camera. The print exposure overall, examine the film edge in the print. They should be black but with the edge numbers legible and with 35 mm film. A very slightly difference between the edge and the darker pocket holes. And this is the procedures of the photo enlarging step. Step 1. Place your negative in the enlarger's carrier. The enlarger carrier is plastic tray that slides out of this enlarger. To put your negative in it, open up the tray and insert the negative into it so the image you want to enlarger is lined up with the square hole in the tray. Then, close the tray and slide the carrier back into the enlarger. Step 2. Clamp the enlarger down over the carrier. Clamping down the enlarger will seal the negative inside of the enlarger carrier. The right way to clamp down the enlarger will depend on the photo enlarger you're using, but there's usually a switch or lever on the side of the device that you're supposed to pull or turn. Step 3. Position the sheet of scrap paper on the projection plane. The projection plane is the flat frame that holds the paper you'll be projecting onto. Lift up the top layer of the frame and insert a scrap piece of paper before closing it again. Then, place the frame back down on the base of the enlarger. Step 4. Turn off the lights in the darkroom. Turning the lights off will make it easier to see your image projected on the piece of scrap paper. It's also important that you turn the lights off since you'll be working with actual photo paper later on. If the lights are on when you remove the photo paper from the packaging, it will be red. Step 5. Turn the enlarger on using the timer. The timer is the small box that's connected to the enlarger by a cord. To turn the enlarger on, locate the on switch on the timer and flip it. After you flip it, the display on the timer should light up. Then press the outlet focus to turn the light bulb inside the enlarger on. Step 6. Adjust the height of the enlarger until the image fits on the scrap paper. There should be a knob on the enlarger near the back or on the inside that allows you to raise the lower it. When you raise the enlarger, the image will get bigger, and when you lower the enlarger, the image will get smaller. Step 7. Focus the image using the knob on the side of the enlarger. When you first enlarge a negative, it will likely be out of focus. To fix that, turn the knob clockwise or counterclockwise until the image looks clear and crisp. Step 8. Set the aperture on the enlarger to f8 for most photographs. The aperture setting determines how wide the lens opening on the enlarger is. The higher the aperture, the wider the lens, and the more light that passes through. The more light that passes through, the brighter your image will be. To adjust the aperture, rotate the lens on the enlarger until you get to f8.